Have you ever felt like success is for everyone else but you, no matter how hard you try? That was exactly how Ayan felt every single night, lying in the dark with his phone glowing just inches from his face. His feed was a non-stop highlight reel of promotions, perfect bodies, dream vacations, and those I finally made it posts. Meanwhile, his own life felt like a frustrating loop of endless effort with zero results. Envy tightened his chest. Shame whispered that he was falling behind, and his mind was filled with confusion. I'm working so hard. So why is nothing changing? What Ayan didn't know was that his life was about to shift, all because of one tiny habit. A habit so small it's almost invisible, one that most people ignore their entire lives without even noticing. The next morning, Ayan's alarm screamed at 6:30 a.m., then again at 6:40, then 6:50. Each time, slapped into silence. When he finally opened his eyes, his hand didn't reach for a glass of water or the window curtains. It went straight for his phone. The screen exploded with updates. New promotions, gym check-ins, side hustle wins, and another one of those I did it. Posts. On his desk, yesterday's to-do list lay half-finished beside a cup of cold coffee. An unopened notebook and an abandoned gym bag were slumped in the corner like a broken promise. To the outside world, Ayan's life looked fine. He had a steady job, a small apartment, decent clothes. But inside, he felt completely stuck at the starting line, watching everyone else sprint ahead while his own feet felt like they were glued to the ground. Today was going to be no different. Sunday nights were Ayan's favorite lie. He'd sit at his desk with a fresh page, writing out these grand plans in bold letters. 5 a.m. wake up, 1 hour of study, nightly workouts. No more wasting time. For a day or two, he'd burn with motivation, setting 3 separate alarms, making green tea, even posting quotes about discipline. Then, the fatigue would creep in. The 5 a.m. routine survived exactly 2 mornings. The ambitious workout plan ended with 1 sore back and a skipped session. The study schedule and the side project files just gathered digital dust, abandoned halfway through. Lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, his thoughts would whisper, maybe I'm just not disciplined. Maybe success isn't for people like me. On his phone, another story flashed by someone making it by Ayan could feel the clock ticking against his ribs. His chest grew heavy. His mind raced all night. Yet every single morning he would murmur to himself, today will be different. But it never was. The breaking point came after a failed presentation at work, where his unprepared slides and shaky voice cost him a promotion he secretly, desperately wanted. That afternoon, after the meeting, Ayan couldn't stand being in his apartment. He just walked without any direction until he reached a small park, where the city noise softened and the air felt a little kinder. On a distant bench sat Mr. Rahman, the elderly caretaker from his building, feeding birds with these slow, peaceful movements. Ayan had always wondered how this man, who seemed to have so little, appeared more content than people who had everything. Before he could stop himself, the words just spilled out. I try to change everything at once, and then I fail. What am I doing wrong? Mr. Rahman listened quietly. Then he smiled. Come back here tomorrow at this time, he said. I will show you something simple, something most people never understand about success. If you come, I will show you the small habit that built my entire life. It changed everything for me once. The next morning, Ayan almost didn't go. Part of him muttered, what can an old man in a park really change? But there was this small, stubborn piece of him that still hoped, and it pushed him out the door. When he reached the bench, Mr. Rahman was already there, holding a clear glass jar and a small bowl filled with tiny grains of rice. This jar is your life, he said softly, and these grains are your small, daily habits. He dropped a single pinch of rice into the jar, then another once, every minute. As they talked, at first, nothing seemed to be happening. The jar stayed almost empty. This can't be it, Ayan blurted out. I need big changes, not this. Mr. Rahman just smiled. Most people quit right here, he said, when they can't see the results. They think nothing is changing, so they start over again and again. Minutes passed, and then Ayan suddenly saw it. The bottom of the jar was covered, and the level of rice was slowly rising. Somewhere between one tiny drop and the next, almost nothing had become almost half full. For the first time, he truly felt what consistency could quietly build inside of him. Mr. Rahman tapped the jar gently. "Success isn't built by one big action," he said. "It's built by tiny actions, repeated so many times they stop being effort and start being who you are." He looked straight at Ayan. "Your way has always been to build a whole house in one night, with no foundation. Big promises, strict routines, huge pressure. Then you collapse, and you call yourself weak. Instead, choose one brick, one or two small habits you can do, even on your worst day. 10 minutes of focused work. 5 push-ups. 1 page of reading. Do it every day, at the same time, for 30 days. Most people never become truly successful, not because they lack talent, but because they never stay long enough with one small habit to let it quietly transform them. That is how lives change. Ayan chose one habit. 10 minutes of focused work on a neglected certification course. Every single evening at 8 o'clock. Days blurred into weeks. Some nights he was tired, some nights he was angry, some nights he was tempted to just scroll his phone instead. But he sat down for those 10 quiet minutes. Slowly, his desk became less cluttered. His sleep got a little deeper, and his mornings felt less rushed. A thin thread of confidence started to appear. If I can do 10 minutes, maybe I'm not hopeless after all. The old soundtrack of self-blame and chaos in his mind began to soften, replaced by a growing sense of quiet control. He wasn't perfect. He still stumbled. But one evening, he submitted the final exam for that course and whispered to himself, "I kept a promise to myself." Real success is rarely a sudden explosion. It's the quiet, steady result of small, disciplined habits repeated every single day. So now, it's your turn. What is one tiny habit you can choose today? Something so small you have no excuse not to start. Share it in the comments below, like this video, and subscribe for more. And just for a moment, take a deep breath before you scroll away today. Thanks for watching.